Even Nick's fatigue has fatigue now.
What is the best way to come about this? See, ignoring it really isn't the answer. I ignored things about me that like tormented me for an entire year. You try to ignore stuff, but people are so vicious with what they do and so, calculated that you really can't. 6 different like threads about me came out all at once, and even it's just kind of predictable, if you will. People see, things going well, and people just don't like that.
Well, Malina might just be struggling to accept how well Nick and Katchii are doing now, both in their streaming careers and their personal relationship.
And then I kind of realized that the things that, especially on a specific part of the internet that were brought up, all that has already been scrutinized, overwritten in court. Now, there are some people who can't do simple math, who are trying to make things seem worse than they really are, and those people are getting called out for what they're doing. But none of that information is necessarily new. And I do want to talk about a specific point, this point here, because Malaya did tweet yesterday, which is very, very weird because we've been broken up for over 2 years now. And I see a lot of people are like, well, she never told her side. She never, said this. She never said that. That isn't necessarily correct because she was the plaintiff. She did tell her story and she did say it in court, and the judge did not agree with it. If you want to talk about not telling the story, well, I've never told my side. All I did was read what one side wanted, what the other side wanted, and then the results.
Nick does not even need to address behind the scenes details publicly anymore. The final court ruling he said previously already gave everyone all the answers they needed.
I never talked about why I was the one that initiated the breakup originally, not filing the divorce, because that's 2 separate things, and even the filing of the divorce. If she feels like she wants to talk about it, she said this under oath, and I'm just very, very curious. What changed? So I'm not sure what the different was, what happened. And it all just seemed like so on purpose. The thing is, I'm not mad at Milena. I want her to be able to just like move on, go next. I have, if there's any lies spread about me, I will defend myself. And there already has been many, many, many inconsistencies, with what's going on. And keep in mind, this is an under oath statement. But I'm curious to see what she has to say. Someone says maybe she's trying to gain an audience for the return to streaming. You know what? That's A-okay too. If she wants to do that, that would be perfectly fine. But that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions.
Look, I'm not someone who enjoys diving into internet drama, and there is not much more left to say about this situation. The divorce is finalized. It is done. It is over. How much further do we really need to drag this out? Well, what else is left to prove? The judge's decision was officially handed down, and I trust that the legal system handled it professionally. It is time to move on. She got what was outlined in the settlement, and that should be the end of the story. It is end. Can you imagine being in Nick's position where you constantly have to re-explain yourself over and over and over again? It is completely draining. It is wasting time. Nick already read the official divorce demand and the final court rulings, which completely debunk all the baseless rumor floating around. At the end of the day, people often get bitter when they see their ex thriving, especially with Nick and Katchii building a healthier dynamic and growing their platforms together. But who knows? I try not to assume too much, but it is clear everyone involved deserves to finally turn the page.